Well, good morning, everyone. It's time for promise number 318. It's Friday. We're going to be in Matthew 7:7. But before we do any of that, let me invite you to the Journey Baptist Church this Sunday morning at 10:15 a.m. We're going to continue in our 2 John series, and it is going to be important because we're going to recognize when we walk in truth, when we live out a loving life that is filled with our desire to be obedient to the Lord, we will have great discernment. That's going to be our focal point this Sunday morning. And I want to encourage you, we're in a time period where great discernment is really necessary every day. There's too much coming at us every day. It used to be that things were a lot slower and you didn't need that discernment to come in so quickly. But now things are coming at us really fast. And so I want to invite you this Sunday to the Journey Baptist Church, 10:15 a.m. and just to get a little bit of an understanding of what it's like to live with discernment. And with that behind us, let's go ahead and go to promise number 318 found in Matthew 7:7. God just basically promises this: just ask and you will receive. And that's really his promise. In fact, let me read it to you. Verse number 7, Matthew 7. It says, ask and it shall be given you, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. And then it goes in and it kind of describes all of that in the verses that follow. But Jesus gives us the ultimate promise in Matthew 7:7. Listen, it's the wide open promise for those like we were reminded yesterday, that are willing to truly surrender to the Lord and consider him our favorite luxury or delight in life. We can ask him for whatever we want, and as we seek him, we will eventually find him. And if we knock, it will be opened unto us. I mean, where do I begin? When we walk with God, we see the bigger picture in life. Listen, or life in better focus. And so that's how God is able to make such an open-ended promise to us. When we do, we have the freedom to ask for things we imagine as best. Many people ask for things they want with no regard for its impact on our faith or what happens to those around them. But when we ask God, when we're walking with God and we ask him, listen, he answers us. He gives us things that will increase our faith and have that kind of impact, that increased faith impact on those around us. And so really consider that when you walk with him, we can look for answers in him. I mean, listen, this is incredible the way it's laid out. When we walk with him, we can look for answers in him and find them. Many people who do not walk with God will tell you that God has no answers for them. But the truth is they haven't even decided that they would even trust God in other areas of their lives. So when they ask for things, they're asking for things they think they need instead of what they really need. And then they get mad at God for not giving it to them. He says, if you're going to seek me, that means walk with me, enjoy a luxurious relationship with me, then you will find me. Once we've found him, everything else just flows. And I don't mean went to a church, they had me pray a prayer, I found him. No. Once we search for him and really just seek him, he will be found. God is not hiding, but he does require us to turn our attention to him. And that's where most of us struggle the most. Listen, most people are seeking answers to things they think are going to make them happy or what have always made them happy. And so they're just not looking for anything but that one thing in life. This knock and it will be opened unto you should be a powerhouse for life if you really think about it. When we walk with God, we get to knock on doors with greater impact for him, and they will open up to us. People are always beating on the same door that God has said, no, I want to close that one because I want a relationship with you. Or they're chasing that same thing, but it's always to the detriment of their relationship with God. I've heard so many people say to me, right now I'm just kind of having to squeeze God in wherever he fits because God knows my life is really busy. I'll go wherever, I'll do whatever if I can make it feel like it's a God thing, but it has to fit around my life. The Apostle Paul told us that Jesus becomes our life when we really find him. When we really seek him and find him, he becomes our life. We've heard this week that those that have their luxury. They find it's luxurious to be with God. Those are the ones that really experience him. And so when we walk with God, we get to knock on doors that'll open up to us. We just need to learn to see with his eyes what could happen and go for it. Listen, so take this promise and really run with it. Seek the Lord, because you will find him. When you knock on doors, they'll open unto you, because God is the one that's motivating what we're seeking. So seek the Lord. That's the key to it. Seek the Lord, and you will have, at least at the very minimum, him. And yesterday we discovered that that is the greatest luxury you could ever experience. Have a great weekend.